I'm Lauren Cosgrave, and welcome to The Lauren Show. I'm a life and small business coach. Join me each week for ideas on how you can lead, love, and thrive. Hi, so today I wanted to share some personal stuff going on, and I wanted to share this because I think a lot of you may connect to it, and I hope that this resonates and speaks to someone out there that may be experiencing it too. And what I want to talk about is fear. I struggle with fear a lot. Fear of failure, fear that this isn't going to work, that I'm going to let down my family, that I'm going to let down myself, that I'm not doing this fast enough. And I've really had to kind of pause. Like it crippled me a little bit this week. And I tell this story from my time in the Navy that of all the things I did, I mean, I have driven warships in the Arabian Gulf in really tense situations. I have been to Iraq, to the war zone, and heard grenades at night falling on the front lawns of the U.S. Embassy, just a couple hundred feet from where I was sleeping. And it's even more scary for me, this journey that I'm on, to create my own business. And getting out of the military was more scary to me than being in a combat zone. Now, why is that? Why is that? It's this story. It feels uncontrollable to me. To me, my fear is lack of control and that other people will dictate my future. So, how do we get out of this? How do we get out of this loop? And there's a lot of different things. There's a mishmash of things that I've heard lately that are really starting to come together for me from some of my great teachers, from Gabby Bernstein, from Tony Robbins, from Brendon Burchard, and I'm piecing it together. So if you are tackling fear yourself, if you're feeling stuck by this fear of something that isn't there that you want, or that you're not going to get something, or whatever your fear may be, focusing on a fear of something catastrophic happening, I'd like to challenge you to take one step today to focus on what is working. What is one thing that is working for you? Lean into that today. Try and set aside your fear and say, okay, I'm going to work on what is working. And for me, it's talking with you, it's talking with my community, and I'm leaning into you guys today because this lights me up. It works for me. I feel so good because I feel as if someone out there could possibly receive this message and it could speak to them today. So I'm going to lean into that. So one thing to do is to lean in what is working. 2 is to kind of ask yourself, what is your internal chatter telling you? What is that story that's going on up there? And how can you train yourself to change that story? Tony Robbins does this exercise every morning where he jumps in like a cold plunge pool. It's like 58 degrees and he does it every single morning, and he has like these pools in like all of his houses around the globe. But the reason he does it is to shock himself into the present moment. And I love this words that he said. He said, I do this so that I no longer negotiate with myself. I don't allow myself to negotiate with myself, with my brain. What a cool concept. I'm super guilty of that. I think it can also be called ruminating from the world of like therapy and psychotherapy. And it's all about just like being present, but choosing the life that you are going to live today. Being in command of your life, choosing to take the next step and not let that fear hold you back. You guys are doing big, awesome, great things out there. I know you are. You are trying to take your business to the next level. You are trying to find a way to be the best parent that you can. You're trying to find a way to crush it at your 9-to-5 job. You're trying to find a way to be amazing in your relationship. You're trying to manifest love into your life. This is tough stuff. if it wasn't scary, if you didn't have some fear, if it didn't require you to tap into this courage that you may have never tapped into before, then it wouldn't be a challenge, right? It wouldn't be the next level. It would be easy. It's easy. Like, our brains naturally want to go back to this like resting state of what's comfortable and what's easy. And that's what your brain is trying to force you to do. It's trying to take you back there. So how do you train yourself to keep pushing through this fear, to tap into that fear and say like, okay, I'm afraid because I'm doing something new, I'm doing something big, and I may not have all the answers, but I'm just going to keep doing this. I will never stop. I will never stop. I will never stop. I will never stop. I'm going to say that one more time. So how do we get out of that? I love, this is a combination of Mel Robbins, Tony Robbins also. And there's a great TED Talk about smiling, about how if you smile, that it releases a similar amount of dopamine to like eating a piece of chocolate. And so when you're really afraid or you're really disappointed, force yourself to smile. Make it this cheesy, goofy grin and just like smile. And it's kind of cool. It really works. It happens. Like, there's something that happens like with like your brain starts to like feel soothed, and your fear shifts from fear into excitement. The things that happen in our body with like sweaty palms and like feeling nervous, the same thing happens when we're excited also. And so that's one thing I'm going to work on today, is shifting my fear into excitement. My fear of something not work out, it means that I'm excited for something new, and I love doing new things. I love new challenges, and I'm going to be excited for that. I'm going to be excited for another opportunity to serve, to be in service. That's what lights me up. That's what gets me going every day, and what I am going to keep doing. So I hope this gave you a couple tips, or at least just was a little soothing and cathartic just to hear a story of fear. I'm on this journey with you too. You're not alone. I encourage you to like listen to the Tony Robbins podcast if you haven't, to be able to take this to another level. Subscribe to the Brendon Burchard podcast. Listen to Mel Robbins. Find those thought leaders that speak to you and give you that inspiration and motivation to keep going. Never gonna stop. I'm never gonna stop. I'm never gonna stop. Be relentless today. Lead, love, thrive, and I wish you a week full of energy. I hope you loved this episode of The Lauren Show on YouTube or podcast. If you did, why don't you hit subscribe below and share on your social media? If you are ready to have it all without doing it all, why don't you schedule a 15-minute strategy session with me at laurencosgrave.com. Start leading, loving, and thriving today.